Hey guys, it's Will here and I'm back with another unboxing video. Today, as you can see, I'll be looking at the Eldar warp spiders. Now this kit's had an interesting history. It was originally sculpted back in 1993, which if the stats YouTube gives me is true, means that about half the people watching this video are younger than the original sculpt for this kit. Yeah, unlike the other Aspect Warriors, it didn't get resculpted in the 2000s. Instead, it was just ported over to finecast in its original sculpt when finecast came out. So very old models here, but certainly worth taking a look at to see what you get in here. And at the moment, warp spiders are one of the strongest units in the current meta, so certainly a unit people can expect to be coming across, and a lot of Eldar players might think about getting their hands on. Anyway, let's see what we've got in here. So it's nice and simple. You just get this one little plastic tray, as you do for the finecast kits, and just angle my camera a bit. There we go. Let's open up and see what's in the box. Here we go. So we've got 5 old style slot bases, because these guys still have the little tabs like a lot of the finecast kits do. Then we've got 3 little mini sprues. First 2 here have got just the regular 4 warp spiders in there, and they are all slightly different poses, but they're all single piece minis. So if you take a look here, you see you've got everything you need is all on the model already. So there's no sticking the gun on or sticking the old backpack on. You've just literally got to clean up the flash and put him on his base. Now this obviously makes them a little bit quicker to assemble, although any speed of assembly with this is then lost by just the sheer amount of flashing on these finecast models. I mean, I've done a box of these once before, and yeah, they were some of the hardest models to clean up ever. I think the swooping hawks were slightly worse, but there's just all of this flash, and because it's all quite flimsy stuff and the models themselves aren't too solid, you actually have to be really careful not to damage the model in the cleanup, which is one of my biggest gripes about finecast, and one of the reasons I really wish GW had decided to upgrade all the Aspect Warriors into plastic rather than leave the vast majority of them in failcast. But yeah, if you actually take a look, the models have got a nice amount of detail on them. You can see you've got the little warp spider emblem down there. On the backpack he's got these 2 little things, there's like circle bits for holes in there, supposed to be the warp jump generators. Well, at least part of the warp jump generator. He's got a little breathing mask there, and this nice big gun, which is pretty darn effective in game actually. Strength 6, 2 shots, with the sort of pseudo rending from monofilament, so that's quite a nice weapon in the game. But yeah, you can tell these models are going to be a pig to clean up. But once they're all deflashed, you can just stick them on the base and they're pretty much ready for painting once you've got a base coat on there. 2 more here, exactly the same, well, not exactly the same, they're all very subtle variations on the same pose, in like certain things are in slightly different parts, like this guy's aspect symbol is down there on his leg, this one is attached to the gun, yeah, things like that. So yeah, not too fancy, but for the time they were sculpted, I mean, these were really kind of the best of the best, most up-to-date sculpts they had back when they were first done, and they've stood the test of time reasonably well. They don't look out of place in a modern Eldar army, unlike certain things in other factions that haven't got an update, like the hideous old Orc war buggy model that just does not fit with Orcs at the moment. But yeah, and then we've got the Exarch. Now he's the one who will actually require some assembly. So you've got his main body and his arms there, and you've got his web spinner, so twin linked web spinner, which goes into this slot on the back, and then the warp jump generator sits over that to hold it in place. And again, he's a nice little sculpt, but here the mono posing really does start to create a little bit of a problem, because you're fixed with the weapon options you get on there. You know, you don't, like with some of the modern Aspect Warrior kits, like the the Dark Reapers, for example, you get 2 different weapon options for the Exarch. Here you only have the twin-linked Death Spinner and the Power Blades, neither of which are ideal, to be honest. I would probably, disregarding what's on the kit, just run him as either stock with just a web spinner. Was it Death Spinner, Web Spinner? You know, the main weapon they've got. And I'd probably leave the Power Blades off. I might upgrade him to a spinneret rifle, but they simply don't make a model for it. So yeah, but because it's obviously going to be very hard to convert this, I tend to stick with the twin link gun. I pay the 5-point upgrade because it's just too hard to convert it. I do trim the Power Blades off. They're, as you can see, attached to the back of his wrists there, and you can remove those fairly easy with a hobby knife. And yeah, just having a closer look, you've got some lovely details on this guy. He's got these like web patterns around his legs, like spider silk, and he's got the symbol of the aspect shrine in the middle of his chest there. So yeah, you know, sculpt wise they're very nice models. It's just a shame that they are so static in their poses and made in finecast. Anyway, I'm going to get these guys built up, and once I've done that, show you what they look like all put together. So here's the squad of 5 fully assembled. Took ages to clean up all the flashing, as it does with finecast, but I think I just about managed to do it without damaging any of the models. All I did was a couple of the guys, like this guy here and this guy here, lost their base tabs, which just made it a little bit more work to attach them on, but nothing that you can't handle with a nice decent super glue like the Gale Force 9 that I use. And yeah, and they take a look at the details. I'm very clear on these models. You know, they are nice bit of detail. Finecast does hold its detail well. It's just so damn fragile, and you know, even like if you look at some of these guys, like this guy's gun, the barrel is actually very slightly bent downwards, and just doesn't give the greatest overall finish. And I'm glad that finecast is being phased out. But you know, as a squad, they're going to look nice. And what I've got here is 5 of them that I've already painted up. These have featured in a number of my battle reports and always done rather well for me. And they were fairly straightforward to paint. The silk patterns on this guy's armour, where it's all wrapped around his legs, that's a little bit challenging, but nothing that you know, can't be done with a little bit of patience and a good brush. And to try and get some more detail on the guns, done like this spirally or swirly pattern on the monofilament barrel there. So yeah, that's the Eldar warp spiders. You know, for 5 guys, you know, 5 elite guys, they're a pretty good price. It's just a shame that, like so many of the Eldar aspects, they are stuck in finecast while everybody else is getting shiny new plastic kits. But hey, you can't have it all. Eldar may not have all the shiny new plastics, but what they do have is some incredible rules. So you know, and I think that's what's keeping the sales of particularly the warp spider aspect up, is despite the model being a little out of date, it's just so damn effective on the table. You know, you just can't argue with jetpack infantry with the warp jump abilities and the flicker jump and fearless and just all the buffs they get, and then chucking out 2 strength 6 pseudo rending shots at 12 inches on a model that can quite happily be BS5. So yeah, very strong unit in the game. Just really need a model to match it. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I wasn't too moany about finecast. And yeah, join me again soon for more unboxings and possibly seeing both of these squads out on the table together. Bye.